Is seller financing the only way to acquire an existing business? No. I bought this business by flipping the real estate to an investor. The seller was selling his business and his real estate, and then I brought an investor in and flipped the real estate to an investor. And the money that I got for the real estate, me and the seller agreed that he would just include the business in with the sale. This one didn't require any seller financing. All it required was just me to negotiate a better deal. This business, I did negotiate seller financing, like a little bit of it, but I didn't really need it. I actually brought in two investors that invested 40 grand each as the down payment for this business, right? But I didn't really need the seller financing. I could have put my own cash into it. This business, I didn't need any seller financing. I actually bought 50% of the business for $1, right? So I negotiated with the seller and let them know that I'd be bringing some things to the business that can improve it, that can improve the way that it's running in exchange for equity. In this case, the owner of the business, he was making $2 million in revenue, but he wasn't showing it on the books. And so I pretty much told him that it'd be difficult for anyone to get a loan on the business, but in exchange for equity, I could come in and improve some things, and then we can start showing profit on the balance sheet. On the profit and loss statements. Then I came in, we got a $250,000 MCA. I gave the seller half, I kept the other half. These are a couple of other businesses that I bought. I didn't use seller financing for any of them, right? The tire shop. Once I got into the business, I got an MCA, right? Merchant Cash Advance. And I used the proceeds from that loan to pay the seller. MCAs, it's really, really high interest. So I would not suggest you go out and get one unless you know what you're doing. If you want a low interest loan to buy a business, you can just go to the SBA. In some cases, you only have to put down 10 to 15% on a business. If you do 10%, you'd have to give up, equity of your house. But 15%, you just put down cash. So an example would be you're going and finding a $100,000 business. SBA requires you to put down 15% cash. That's 15 grand. And then SBA will cover the rest, right? So that's another way that you can acquire an existing business without using seller financing. Depending on the assets that the business that you're looking at has, you can actually get something called vendor financing, where you can get a lender to give you money for the inventory or some of the equipment or assets that that business has. And then, of course, you got one of my favorites, asset-based lending. If the business you're buying has high accounts receivable, you can get them to lend you money based on the receivables.